Welcome to the show. My name is Monickie Scott.
And this is your girl, Felina B. Flossin. Thank you for joining us today. Yes. In this world we live in, everybody's looking for that 5-star rating. Mm-hmm. Well, how do you rate yourself?
It is our intention that by listening to this podcast, the 5-Star Living Show, we will help you move towards your own 5-star rating by finding ways to live a more balanced life, focusing on your mind, body, and soul while laughing more and loving more.
Yes, and today we're going to look into pursuing lost goals.
Ooh.
We all have those, right? Some goals that we haven't
fell off.
Yeah. We'll be discussing how we handle those lost or personal goals that we've always wanted to achieve, but it never seemed like the right time. And so life, as we know, is constantly moving, evolving, and it's not going to slow down or wait for anyone. And as that clock continues, we have opportunities that can pass us by. I mean, it happens, right? Yeah. It's like a train headed towards your greatest accomplishments. You have to kind of jump on it and seize the opportunity. That train may not necessarily stop.
Nope.
Right?
It keeps on going unless you jump on.
Yeah. And oftentimes we put those passions and desires off because we're waiting for that perfect time.
Yeah, and when does that ever come?
How often does that really happen? We want to have it all figured out, and those years will go by, and that perfect time will never really present itself.
Yeah, because you're waiting for it, and it's waiting for you.
It's waiting for you.
Basically, is how that happens.
Right.
It's true. Timing is very important. Some say timing is everything, as having the right timing can make or break the situation. Sometimes you have to just jump right in and get swimming. That's how I learned how to swim, right? I was sitting on the sidelines minding my own little business as a little girl. I'm having a little flashback moment. Hold up. Minding my own little business as a little girl, and one of my uncles just threw me in the deep end. Really?
Nerve.
But isn't that how most little
But you learned how to swim?
I did.
The good news is, as you see, it worked out.
I was sitting there looking at the deep end, wanting to get in, and then once I jumped in, then after that, guess what happened? I was jumping in the deep end every month. That's all it was.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. And so that's just like in life. Sometimes you got to jump in the deep end and realize, oh, I really can swim.
Yeah. No kidding.
So the thought of is, if not now, then when? Yeah. Then when?
Yeah, and as we get older, moving into those 30s, and especially after 40, am I dating myself?
Yeah.
Hey, wow.
You mean after 80, right?
Okay, or that. But once you pass, 40 for sure, we clearly know that our minds and our bodies start to deteriorate to some capacity. And so we have to work even harder to stay intact, mind, body, and soul. So don't wait, you know what I mean? I know after I hit my 4th decade of life.
Well, why you gotta say it like that?
Because it's
4 decades.
How can I say it? My 4th decade of life.
You can say my 4th. I'm in my 4th decade of life. Level 4.
I'm on level 4.
Okay.
Of life. And I saw that, those cartwheels that I used to do. No more.
Oh my gosh, I just had a vision of me trying to do a cartwheel. No, but you're right.
I used to plummet them, believe it or not. But now,
how many you could do in a row, right?
Yes.
You do 10, 12.
My children will tell you I used to do 4 cartwheels into a split. Let's not even try that now. I will break everything. I won't even try. I wish I did more when I had the opportunity.
Because the last time I can think about remembering ever doing a cartwheel, probably you had to be in my level 2.
Level 2.
Level 2. So wow, if we would have thought about it, we would have did a lot more.
I would have.
So even more so the need to jump in this game of life and do some of the things that you've always wanted to do, but didn't feel it was the right time.
Yeah.
You just sit back and you just kind of go, eh.
I know, but can you think of the many times that we put off because of fear? You know what I mean? When you were looking at that pool in that deep end,
just thinking I can't do that. How do they do that? I'm scared. I'm gonna sink to the bottom and never come up. Yeah.
Yeah, we have that fear that we'll fail or be talked about. That's the other thing. We're thinking about other people's
What
judgments.
are they going to say?
Yeah,
how are they gonna feel about it?
Exactly.
What do their feelings have to do with how we feel?
Exactly. And on our show, we're going to discuss that word fear many times, because it's amazing how fear has so much impact on various facets of our life.
Yeah, it's very controlling.
Yeah,
it's very controlling. I've heard a lot of songs recently about people talking about fear as if it is a person, like fear, get out of my way, fear, move, fear, no. And so it's a big thing that we're all realizing that it's a thing that can actually control everything you do.
And so in facing that fear, we have to think, what's really the worst that can happen? There's a chance that we may try and it not flourish how we've, envisioned it. But then there's also that other side where we have a great chance for success and a feeling of accomplishment. So it's like, which voice are we going to listen to?
Yeah, we have to base our actions on what we feel. People are going to, we can't base our actions on what we feel people are going to say, because that'll leave us accomplishing nothing at all. One thing for sure, people are always gonna have their opinion about what you doing.
Right.
But I always tell them, turn around, look in the mirror and worry about what you doing. Don't worry about what I'm doing over here.
Right. You know what they say about an opinion. It's just like, we all have one. We all have an opinion.
We all have one. You had mentioned thinking, what's the worst that can happen? Do you ever watch the show This Is Us?
Okay.
So they always have that, I can't remember their names right now, but they always have that conversation. Okay, look, let's talk about what's the worst that can happen. Go.
Yeah.
You get 30 seconds, just talk about it.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it and you talk about it and you go, oh, I can't really come up with anything that's going to be that bad that I can't do it. So let's get it out the way and move it on.
And then in thinking about people's opinions, some will discourage you because they don't see it for themselves, maybe, or they may not want to see you outshine them. I mean,
how many times does that happen?
It happens. Some people are just not comfortable Some people are comfortable if you are on the same level as them. But
once you start
growing, they look at their own lives like, am I inadequate? Am I not?
Yeah.
So they want you to, just relax, stay here,
And then you'll turn around and find out that you let that opinion of what they had to feel about you keep you in this place, and you turn around and look and they done left you.
Exactly.
You're like, whoa.
Exactly.
I thought we wasn't. And they're like, no, you wasn't. I'm gone.
Yeah, whose fault is that? At the end of the day, it's going to be
end of the day, it is your fault.
So we have to be careful not to let someone else's, limitations be our limitations, because at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to live our lives. They're living their lives.
You live your lives. And if not now,
then when?
I say right now.
Right now. Not now, but
right now.
So in just a few moments, we're going to answer some questions from our 5-star supporters. But first,
hey, make sure to like us on Facebook at 5-Star Living Show, and remember to subscribe on YouTube.
Yes.
So we got some questions from our audience. Oh, cool. What they say?
So one of the questions is, it's been so long and I've lost my passion. How do I get that back? That can be very challenging.
Yes.
So maybe start by asking, what is the one thing that I've always wanted to do? Right? How many of those one things, have you intentionally or unintentionally buried away and let go because of the notion that it just might not be right for you? So
it happens quite often. I remember seeing a story about a lady who, I want to say she was in her 50s, but she had finished raising her kids. Kids were out of college. They were all doing their own thing. And she had always wanted to be a police officer, right? So normally, first of all, a woman. Second of all, you're 50. So, the new recruits are looking at you like, what? You can't come up in here, but she did it. She did that thing. She became a police officer after 50. And not only that, I want to say she graduated like near the top of that class. So they had to give her much respect. That's awesome. The awesome part was that she was so you could just tell she was happy with herself, that even though she was at this age where maybe most people wouldn't think to go back and pursue that dream, she actually got to do it.
Wow, sounds like she was revitalized.
Yes, that's a great word. Life, huh? Great word for it.
Another one, whatever that passion is, revisit it and etch time out, on a regular basis. I mean, every day if possible, 15 minutes of focus time, and let that time frame progress as you redevelop the joy and passion for it.
Yes.
That goal.
Yes, I hope that helped you, listener, that you'll be able to do that. Yeah. Our next question is, I've been comfortable just living for my children, but I feel there is something missing. How do I find my passion?
That happens very often.
Ooh, so often. You need to do something new. Step out of that comfort zone. I know you've been living for your children, so you probably feel like you don't have your own self-identity. You don't even know what you like. You don't even know where to go or what to do. Like. But just try some things. How about learning to play the piano? How about take some salsa lessons? How about traveling to some different regions? Start a garden. Try painting. Hey, I mean, nobody got to see it if it ain't that good, but,
Right, put it in the closet if it ain't cute.
But try it. Expand your horizons and keep living with that anticipation and readiness to continue exploring the world. Your kids are gone, but you're not. You're still here. So there's still some things that you need to do and that you have to do. This is a great time to just refocus and learn, who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I and who do I want to be
Very
now?
good point.
Yeah.
So coming up, we're about to share some very valuable tips with you about how you could start living a more 5-star life by pursuing dreams more. But first,
make sure to like us on Facebook at 5-Star Living Show. We want to hear from you. Give us some feedback. What do you want to learn more about when it comes to your mind, body, and soul while loving more and laughing more?
Indeed. So let's talk about a few ways that you could be living a more 5-star life by pursuing those lost dreams.
So the first thing I would say is avoid trying to think about having the perfect life or doing what is going to be so perfect. Have some fun just being your best and doing the best that you can do and being satisfied with that. Many times we'll sit back, the whole question that you asked in the beginning, Felina, if not now, when? We're more than likely just waiting for everything to just fall into that perfect little place at the perfect little time, and that I'm the perfect, have you ever bought a dress and like, I got to be the perfect little size or anything? But life is just not going to get perfect. Life is going to go on, and you're going to be staying back in that same place. So if not now, when? We say now. We say now. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Have some fun. Do your best and be satisfied with that.
Indeed. And as I mentioned earlier, I always encourage people to follow your own mind and seek growth outside of other people's opinions, because you often don't know a person's intentions or motives. Right. And, there are good people with, real intentions, but when you follow yourself, you ensure that your life will be lived on your terms, not based on anyone else's opinions and from their limited viewpoint. Yeah,
because their viewpoints of your life is always going to be limited.
Right, because if it goes wrong, who you blame? I listened to such... Nah.
And some people will. You can.
Yeah.
You can blame them, but guess what they doing? They're over there living their life, doing what they do. And probably outliving you. So here's my advice. Don't let nobody outlive you. Especially somebody that gave you
take note of that.
Their opinion of what you need to be doing with your life. Guess how many times they sitting there thinking about you and what you doing?
Right.
They ain't thinking about you at all. So always follow your own mind first. Seek opinions of people who may be doing something that you want to do, but don't ever seek opinions from people that ain't doing anywhere close to what you're doing, because we know how the saying goes, misery loves company, and that's just how that goes. So if somebody else is not living their best life, they definitely don't want you to be living your best life.
So be careful who is in your ear. Another thing would be have fun exploring who you are, learn new things, and go after new adventures. Build your brain power and nurture that intellect, because what we know for sure is that we have this one life right here. And so you don't want to let it go unfulfilled.
At all. Another thing is you can transform your negative talk into positive self-talk. Check your own self.
Right.
If anybody telling you to stop saying that and stop doing that, check your own self. Look in the mirror and tell yourself what you need to be doing and keep it positive always.
Yeah, because there's always someone that's willing to speak negatively. Don't help them. You know, you praise yourself, believe in yourself, and always fight for yourself.
Fight for yourself.
At the end of the day, you are all you have. So love on you, boo-boo.
I love that. Praise yourself because nobody else is going to. You always got you.
Yeah.
Always got you.
Well, my goodness, look at the clock on the wall.
Is it saying that's all?
Yes, it is. Well, it's our time for the day, but we want to thank you for listening to us and joining us on this 5-star day. We believe in you, and we believe that you can have a more 5-star day starting right now.
And we know you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be right here with us. So for that, we thank you. And we look forward to seeing you on Facebook at 5-Star Living Show and joining us in the 5-Star Living Inner Circle, because we want you to laugh more and love more while taking care of your mind, body, and soul.
Yes. So, hey, do us a favor. On purpose, make it a point to have a 5-star day.
The 5-Star Living Show is sponsored in part by MVPphotographer.com, and special thanks goes out to our super producer, Mr. Dana Scott.
Thank you for listening to the 5-Star Living Show. Take care of your mind, body, and soul. And remember, love more and laugh more.